The 7 rules women follow for sex, but will never admit to you. Rule 1. Women want sex as much as men, but they make you work for it. Women think about sex just as much as men do. They enjoy it, crave it, and seek it out. The difference? They don't hand it out easily. They control access to sex and make men prove themselves before they get it. A man sees an attractive woman and immediately knows he'd sleep with her. Simple. A woman, on the other hand, might be just as attracted but won't act on it right away. Not because she's unsure. She knows exactly what she's doing. She makes a man wait, chase, and invest so she can get something out of it first. Whether it's attention, emotional stimulation, or the satisfaction of knowing she could have him whenever she wants, sex isn't just about pleasure for her. It's a bargaining chip. This is why most men struggle. They think being nice, respectful, or proving their worth will get them laid. It won't. Women don't give sex as a reward for good behavior. They choose men who don't play by their rules, the ones who don't chase, don't beg, and never let sex become a power game in the first place. Rule 2. Women categorize men as lovers or providers. Women don't see all men the same way. The moment she meets a man, she's already sorting him into one of 2 categories, the lover or the provider. The lover is the man she craves. He excites her, makes her feel something, and triggers her impulsive, reckless side. She doesn't think about whether he's a good choice or if he'll take care of her. She just wants him. The provider, on the other hand, is the man she respects but doesn't necessarily desire. He's safe, stable, and reliable. The guy she might settle down with when she's ready to be responsible. But that doesn't mean he's the one she fantasizes about. Here's the brutal reality. If a woman sees a man as only a provider, she may still date him, but she won't feel that burning desire for him. She'll sleep with him out of obligation, routine, or because it makes sense, never because she can't help herself. A man's power in dating comes from knowing which category he falls into. The men who get everything, respect, devotion, and raw attraction, are the ones who refuse to be boxed in. They give women the thrill of the lover with the security of the provider. That's the man she never leaves. Rule 3. Women want the man other women want. A man's attractiveness isn't just about how he looks, what he says, or how much money he has. Women judge a man by how others treat him, especially other women. If he's respected, admired, and desired by others, her interest skyrockets. If no one seems to care about him, she won't either. This is social proof in action. Women don't want to be the only ones who see a man's value. They want a man who is already pre-selected, a man who has options. That's why a guy in a relationship is more attractive than a single guy with no prospects. Why a man surrounded by women effortlessly draws more attention. Why a man who commands respect in any social setting doesn't have to prove himself. His presence alone is enough. The mistake most men make is thinking attraction happens in isolation. It doesn't. A woman watches how others react to you before she decides how she feels. If people naturally gravitate toward you, if other women clearly admire you, if you walk into a room and command attention, she won't have a choice. Attraction won't be something she decides. It'll be something she feels. And once she feels it, the game is already won. Rule 4. Women choose based on emotion, not logic. Men think attraction is about checking the right boxes, being successful, treating her well, proving they'd make a great partner. But women don't choose men that way. Their decisions aren't based on logic, they're based on emotion. This is why a woman can meet a man who has everything: money, kindness, stability, and feel nothing for him. Meanwhile, another man, maybe with less to offer on paper, excites her in a way she can't ignore. She doesn't sit down and analyze which man is the better choice. She goes with the one who makes her feel something. Women crave excitement, unpredictability, and emotional highs and lows. The men who get women obsessed are the ones who trigger those feelings, not the ones who just offer security. This is why the nice guy always loses. He tries to convince a woman why he's worthy, while the man who makes her feel alive never has to convince her of anything. Attraction isn't a rational process for women. It's not about what makes sense, it's about what moves her. The men who understand this don't waste time proving themselves. They create experiences, play with emotions, and let nature take its course. And once a woman feels something, reason doesn't stand a chance. Rule 5. Women want a man who leads, not one who asks for permission. Women don't want a man who hesitates. They don't want a man who looks to them for validation or waits for the right moment to act. They want a man who moves with certainty, who makes decisions, takes the lead, and never second-guesses himself. A woman might not say it outright, but she expects a man to be in control. She wants to feel like she's being led into attraction, not asked whether it's okay for a man to be attractive. A man who constantly checks for approval, over-explains his actions, or hesitates to take charge kills the spark before it even starts. The moment he looks to her for reassurance, she feels it, and not in a good way. This isn't about forcing anything, it's about being undeniable. A man who understands his own value never has to convince a woman to follow his lead. He doesn't need to ask if she's into him. He assumes it. And the funny thing, when a woman senses that confidence, that natural ability to take control, she stops thinking. She stops analyzing. She just follows because deep down, that's exactly what she wants. Rule 6. Women use sex as a test. Sex isn't just pleasure for a woman. It's a screening process. She might be attracted to a man, but that doesn't mean he's getting her in bed. First, she needs to be sure he's worth it. This is why women play hot and cold, why they delay intimacy even when they clearly want it. It's not because they're unsure, it's because they're testing. Can he handle waiting? Will he get desperate? Does he start chasing the moment she pulls back? The men who fail are the ones who beg, push, or look for reassurance. The ones who pass are the men who remain unaffected, knowing they don't need to prove themselves. A woman's attraction increases when a man doesn't react to her tests. If she knows she can string him along and he'll still be there, she loses interest. But if she senses that he could walk away at any moment, that she isn't the center of his world, she starts chasing him. This is why confident men never worry about when sex will happen. They know it's inevitable. They don't push for it, and they don't wait around for it either. Women choose men who pass their tests, and the men who pass don't even acknowledge the test is happening. Rule 7. Women are always testing, even when they don't realize it. A woman doesn't just choose a man once, she's constantly testing his worth, whether she knows it or not. Her attraction isn't fixed. It's always being validated or broken by how a man reacts to her. This is why a woman might be deeply into a guy one moment and distant the next. It's not random. She's checking if he stays solid or if he crumbles under pressure. She pulls back to see if he'll chase. She throws attitude to see if he gets defensive. She creates drama just to see if he can handle it. The men who fail these tests overthink, complain, or try to fix things. The ones who pass, they stay unshaken. Even after sex, the testing doesn't stop. Women instinctively filter out weak men, even at a subconscious level. Just like her body naturally selects the strongest genetic match, her mind selects the strongest emotional match. If a man loses frame, becomes too available, or stops being the guy she was originally attracted to, she'll start looking elsewhere, without even realizing why. A woman doesn't choose a man once. She chooses him every day, and the only men who keep being chosen are the ones who never let her tests shake them.